Hey there, team. Welcome to... Oh, really quite a short fight. This is... Oh, this was me. Oh. Wow, this must have been from a really long time ago. I have absolutely... So I called this Mordor... Oh, X, nice. I called this Mordor Mountain Choke. So it looks like it is just... Oh! Okay, I remember this map. I'm sure I remember doing something like this on Silmarillion, but no, jeepers sake, this is an old one. Wow, okay, cool. Anyway, playing as Mordor on a field battle is really rare for me. I enjoy them in a siege a lot, but in a field battle, that's quite a strange shout. Anyway, up front, I got my Moron infantry behind them. Moron archers, yeah, at least to try and do some damage a bit quicker than the orc archers could do. Temple guard, of course, that's where I got my... No, it's not where I have my general today. Okay, don't put him in the archer general, that's very odd. Halberds there, just behind the lines, just trying to keep them a bit safe from enemy arrow fire until they're ready. Orc Javies there, so they can sort of respond to anything, and then some orc maulers with armor upgrades? I think so, yeah. Pretty confident them as sort of armor upgraded orc maulers. If I can give an unshielded unit an armor upgrade, I normally always will. Sauron's will, and then a Dunedain Lancers, and I've even gone for some Temple Inquisitors. Okay, very cool. So yeah, I'm scared about enemy cavalry. Temple Inquisitors are not 2 hit points. Oh, Uruk Captains. No. Nazgul? I think I put him in with the Nazgul. Yeah, I think that was my vibe. Just shove him in there so that I've got, one very, very powerful general. And then the Temple Executioners, so with an armor upgrade. So I do, no, without the armor upgrade. Yeah, I like the look of them without the armor upgrade. They look very, very spooky and scary without it. But they are good with it. So yeah, not a massive army, a lot of elites. But I've kind of just made up for that by not really going much into the mid-tier. I've got a Minas Morgul chosen there, but yeah, generally not too much in the way of the mid-tier, really just the lower tier and the elites. So decent numbers. Anyway, to my side, I have a, no, Erebor even? Maybe, let's see. Yep, no, Isengard. Ah, okay, yeah, it's a bit more black than it is grey. He's got his ballista here, this is Lango. Half-orc spear guard up front, crossbows behind. Zooming on back here, we have some half-orc spear guard again, lots of these pikes, infantry, Dunlending veterans, infantry, and Naz High. Looks like he's still jumbling stuff around. Looks like they're coming up here to deploy on this slope. He's got his champions of the right hand, further up some pikes. So it looks like he's still deploying, so we'll look at him maybe a bit again later. Another evil faction next to me, we've got Umbar. Faction I've got more confidence with in a field battle, but yeah. Corsair infantry out front, behind them the Trebuchet, Alcarondas Legion, and Warlords of Umbar. Now I suspect there's probably some hiding. Oh, yep, good. A Dunedain Shield Guard, Belagar Archers, Axe Guard there, Balakith Axe Guard even, hiding in those trees. Nothing further back though. Again, not a very large army, but probably some more hiding Corsairs, probably Corsair crossbows tucked in somewhere. And then we've got Ian Fitz here as our last. Not defender, I'm pretty sure this is an even sort of squabble we've got going on here. As Misty, so he's got his Black Orcs of the Mountain, Bolg's Champions, the Cave Troll Drummers, Warg Riders, some Halberdiers, Fearmongers mixed in amongst them to provide some sort of more competence to the general Halberdiers, Warg Skirms next to the little baby dragons, the Drake Broodlings, and then Gobbo Archers up on the cliff top here, Mountain Orc Host, Archers and Crossbows from Fitz. So yeah, this is definitely... I just can't quite remember what the vibe was here. Let me just clear my throat 1 second. I can't quite remember what we were sort of intending to do with this one. Are we playing a sort of defense, or is this meant to be just a clash? I think it's meant to be more of a wild clash. In the middle, I don't think we're defending. We've got some nice positions there, but I try not. If I don't have the role of a defender, and I've not had to earn a position, like if I could get this hilltop like in the middle of the map, you better believe I'm taking that and holding it. But the fact that I can deploy on it, I'll usually try to come down unless I'm meant to be the defender. Over here, first of the opposing sides, the goodies, We've got some Dalians opening up with their barding marksmen. That will be very nasty to poor old Isengard back there. Even the half-orc spear guard are going to be struggling. Do they have an armor upgrade, these poor boys? I don't think so. But, as I say, I'm really bad at sort of telling whether or not they have an armor upgrade, those spear guard. There is a visual difference, but I think it's quite subtle. Behind them, the barding herd. Then the Dalian spears. No armor upgrade for the Dalian spears, so yeah, you can just sort of see the little ties there instead of the little bit of mail on the front. Then the mail? No, not chainmail. No. What do you like? Mail plates. What's that called? But anyway, sorry. The barding herd behind them again, and then some dragon slayers over here. Some Dalian paladins. So there's definitely again more mixed in amongst here. There's a lot of trees on this map, so it's quite easy to tuck things away for later on. His first ally is largely in these trees, it looks like. So it is Dorwinion. I do remember fighting Dorwinion. And there aren't many perp factions, so it's quite easy to tell. But right now, the only thing that is revealed is a Elven Hammerguard. So everything else is... His deployment phase ended here, so there's probably some elves hiding in these trees, or anything hiding in those trees, really. Next of the good guys is Imladris here. Archers of Rivendell without an armor upgrade? No, with an armor upgrade. Behind them, some Neratino warriors. Swords of Rivendell, lots and lots of Swords of Rivendell. Then Spears of Rivendell, they are technically like Halberds of Rivendell. They do have an AP, just I guess to qualify for the fancy elven steel of those spears. Then Bruinen River Wards. Bruinen River Wards, I don't know, they tend to get like outshone by a lot of the sort of fancier sword masters, but they have an anti-cavalry bonus, which is a cute little bonus for them. Gwathi Meridain getting a new model in the new patch. I've been plowing through a lot of Umad's videos trying to sort of catch up with what's going on and everything. So they're getting a new model, a new style with those two hammers instead of one big one. It's an interesting shout. I'll see how they sort of play out when I sort of actually get my hands on them. And this is Eclipse, of course. He's got his Imladris sentries, Imladris guardians without an armor upgrade. 3 units off them to the side though. I think it's interesting to go for an armor upgrade for so many of the... Maybe this isn't actually the armor upgrade. Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe they get the hoods with the armor upgrade, or... I'm not too sure. But anyway, Swords of Rivendell to their sides, Neratino Cav, and then some Gwathi Rock Door. Not a lot of room to maneuver, but it is flat ground on these areas, so... and those Gwathi Rock Door do not need much of a run-up to get their lances down. And lastly, Numenor. So yeah, I've got some forces for my Dark Numenorians to fight, as with Umbar as well. He's got his Royal Guard behind them, lots and lots of these AP Shield Guard, then lots and lots of Numenorian cohort, Royal Legion of Armelos, Seafarers and Indamos, and the Steel Bows. And again, maybe something tucked in here and there, but really not much in the way of Belegar. Very much just the elite of Numenor proper. So we will start the battle there, but I'll probably not immediately, but very quickly I'll go to a slower speed. Looks like Bogdan, yeah, he may have won the archer engagement, but he probably wasn't expecting a ballista to be facing up against him. I quite like this little angle that we've got, just perched on top of this hilltop. And no hits. Bogdan was quite lucky with that, but that's given him time to spread his boys out and pull away anything that doesn't really need to be in view. A few of them go down there. A few of those like Keldrin River Patrol maybe. Yeah, just River Patrol. A bit of a shame to still lose them, but Bogdan can be very happy with that escape. But because of that, that's going to leave him a bit more open to the trolls or to an infantry clash. Oofed, that's a stinger. That is a stinger. But there's a lot like that he's had to spread out very quickly, so it's expected that. Ouch! Again, a nasty hit for those 2 hit point dragon slayers, but they're getting back now. Another ballista shot. Looks like that just has gone awry. Happens sometimes for sure. Let's go to 0.7 right now, because I suspect that combat is going to be happening very quickly. Yeah, I'm coming down from the slope, leaving this as my little reserve area, but I want to plug up this gap. If we're fighting, I want to fight here. I've got a lot of elite units, so I want to really focus their power into one area. So that is, yeah, Eothad is coming forward. Maybe didn't really want to charge me when I was defending on that hill slope, but a little bit better off now. Because it's such a tight area, I'm going to be able to sort of spread my supporting units around, and I'm actually moving over to back up my my superior forces of Umbar here. Because again, we have artillery advantage with the Treb up against these nice elves and Numenorians. We're unloading on that. Looks like Eclipse has wanted to pull back in response to our Treb. But if they don't have any artillery themselves, they're gonna have to come at us at some point, or just soak it all up until until we're done, really. But I'm sending over my archers here. I think my reasoning was sort of how much cost I could get for my worth hitting those elven infantry with my archers. But I'm gonna need my archers over here, so it's kind of an odd move. Maybe I'm trying to just be slightly too generous, perhaps. Bogdan's come in. No, so he's sort of reformed. So he is still wanting to face up against Isengard in this section, but he's just trying to deny Lango any really great shots. Let's, because I can see this being something that happens very quick and distracting me to the point that I forget to take a screenshot. So at least we got a little action shot of them moving up the ballista in case I forget. But yeah, again, it's a bit of a pain for Bogdan. He's definitely in range of arrow fire. Would you be wanting to unload onto the ballista crew? For me, I wouldn't, but that might be what he's about to do. Let's see what he's going for, because there doesn't seem to be... I know there's combat happening over there. We will jump over to that right after, but I just want to see what we've got shots-wise. Because it is a sensible move to go for that ballista crew. A lot of people definitely would do it. It's just not the way that I tend to try and counter these guys. And they are dropping them. They will drop them very quickly. So maybe it is a good shout. It's trying to like lower their number a bit so that if we do manage to get them caught in melee later, or with Dalian bows, he can probably rely on destroying the entire unit if he's willing to devote enough ammunition to it. Over here, Mevin really shunting up, and yeah, oh, that's another reason that Imladris failed back. So Imladris was here, but we had Umbar coming from this way and Misty coming from this way. I think that's why I sent forces over here, because I knew that we wanted to go hard on Numenor and Imladris. I think that was the reason why, because I was like, I'm going to be defensive over here, since, I'm going to wait for him to come at me, so I can just lend you a little bit of aid. So that's why I've got my boys coming over. Might even have some cavalry coming over soon as well. But got to watch out for these stakes if I do that. Still more known archers. Just one unit more known infantry. Nope, turn them back, but I'm leaving the archers coming forward. Again, I think I can just get more worth out of shooting those elves. But saying that, I could probably get some shots into the Elven. Not Elven, the... Glade Guard, whatever they're called. Merquindi, yeah. Because, yeah, they're very lightly armoured and very highly... high damage in most cases. So, but anyway, got my archers moving over there. Still just a stare down here. It looks like Bogdan's going to be unloading on that ballista. Down to 37. So down to 37 from 50? Or 50 or 60. I can't quite remember how many boys they have on that Treb or ballista. That's something that I've noticed when I've been looking through a lot of these videos from UMAD and any of the other patch content that I've been checking out. We've got... it looks like we're really going hard on the... siege weapon defenders. We're not really, there's not going to be like chaff really defending them. We're going to have some decent quality troops, or at least decent quality looking troops, guarding them, which is an interesting move. Warg skirms pulling away. It's going to make sort of siege weapons a bit more, like even more tempting to take, I think, because even if you don't get your worth out of them, or like when they're out of ammunition, you're like, okay, cool, I've got a half decent unit that I can now throw at somebody, instead of just like, okay, I've got kind of on the same line as peasants getting thrown on in. Belegar making contact with the Numenorians. These Belegar men are not the descendants of Numenorians, of course, but still the descendants of their ways. Right now that's saying victory is certain, but that's going to go away very, very soon. Numenorian Shield Guard with that AP getting through, a big help for the Belegar footmen is the fact that they do have a little bit of armor value, but that shield, well, that spear is really what's keeping them alive. Nice push from Fitz, because right now It is a mix on the front line. We do have the Numenorians and elves. We've got Numenor and Imladris, so the best of man and the best of elven kind facing up against this. But with a lot of goblins, with the worst of goblin kind, but just a hell of a lot of it coming forward as well. It's going to be a menace. Ah, Merquindi bows. So yeah, you can see because I'm being passive on my side, and I've sent some troops over here, so has Eothad. Now he's going, is he opening up on my archers? Maybe a little bit, but I think he's probably going to be opening up more on the main line of Umbar. So I'm trying to counter him with my own archers. He's going to have a bit of a ranged advantage on me, but hey, that's why I sent over these Moron archers. And of course I'm feeling a little bit bad because he's only able to send these guys over because I'm not really engaging him. But saying that, I think we have a... Nope, we don't have an engagement, but now that I've got some backup from Lango, some chaff from Lango coming in when in the form of the Dunlanding clansmen, I can start moving forward. Now something I don't have in this army, which is quite a rarity for me, is sort of my lower mid-tier spears. Now I've got one. I don't have orc fodder. Why don't I have orc fodder? Huh. Maybe I just was absolutely, you know, on the wire with my money, and maybe the armor upgrades for the orc maulers, I was like, nah, I don't need orc fodder. Because they cost 100, I think. So usually you're worthwhile taking a unit, but they're not free. Or maybe they are free. I can't quite remember. But either way, yeah, it's a bit odd that I've not taken one. So I've got my Minas Morgul chosen, but I don't have like my Morin on guard. So I'm kind of needing that little bit of assistance from Lango, these Dunlanding champion or Dunlanding clansmen. They're champions in my eyes, Lango. Thank you so much. So they are they're going to help me out. Just hold the line in case there's any cavalry movement against me. But Warlords of Umbar there from Mevin, again mixing it up. He's seeing that he can maybe use his cav a little bit better over here, so he's sending these guys over to back us up. And yeah, we will be able to front up shortly. Because again, I don't want Eothad to just be pouring his assistance over on this end. It's my job to take care of Eothad. Not so much take care of him, but at least to hold his attention. And the fact that he's come over here is a bit of a nuisance. So we do have the White Orc Fearmongers coming in now. That'll be a little bit more tricky for the boys to deal with, but this is still some immense quality. The Imladris sentries there are going to be, they ain't going down easy. Over here, the armor upgraded Axe Guard, so you can see that like red heraldry that they've got without that armor upgrade is covered up with a nice black steel plate. And but again, yeah, they'll be going down. Usually able to sort of deal with most of what can get put against them, but up against these Numenorians and amazing elves, it's going to be too much. Got the Troll Drummer there from Fitz just battering away. This is still the old version, so these guys are unfortunately not providing that morale buff, but damn, they are there. They're a nice cinematic buff for me, so it's good to have them around. But they are fixed in the new version. So we've shunted forward, but Eothad is not really willing to say, you know, if we'd moved forward and engaged him, then we could have had this avenue to be attacking Dale as well. Eothad doesn't want us to be able to do that, obviously, so he's shunted forward, but we've managed to get our cavalry in already. So it's going to be pulling Mevin's attention away. He's going to be able to having to micro with this cav while he's got a lot of focus on the other end of the battlefield. But a nice little charge there. But the Stalkers are coming forward. Stalkers, of course, those spearmen in melee. If those warlords were able to fight these guys in a vacuum, it'd be a very nice matchup for the warlords. But with a few of these Elven infantrymen behind them, it's not fun. It's not fun. By very nice, I mean it would be an okay fight. They'd be able to handle themselves all right. But actually, we had a siege quite recently with Warlords of Umbar going toe-to-toe with the Stalkers. And we saw just how much damage those Elven spear horses or spear cavalry did against them. It was quite nasty. So yeah, Lango has got his cavalry here now too. And I really should have mine coming over as well. But you saw I made maybe a bit of a blunder. I've got my cavalry... Oh, I could be having them over here quite quick. But I think I'm just microing my infantry a lot. And I've sort of not paid attention to them. But I really want to get these guys involved. Especially the Adunheim Lancers. I really like these guys. But I just never really get to do much with them. But they're aesthetic. The general like Adunheim units, I think, are just dope. Over here, the Merquindi Pikes coming forward now. And we aren't unloading on them. It'd be great to get I mean, even a crossbow volley. I know they're Merquindi. They aren't heavily armoured. But they're just so useful. So we need to get something there. Those Urukai pikes will be able to hold their attention for a good while, kill a good few of them. My Mordor infantry trying to move through the swarm of tribesmen in front of them, but I mean, so far we're doing really quite well in this fight. I think it's maybe getting around the flank a bit, just outnumbering them with the amount of wild men and orcs we've got here. But my Uruk captain's coming forward now. Because of the amount of elites I've brought, you better be sure I'm going to be using my elites early and often, doing this Cardland style, getting my elites mixed in amongst my infantry. So let's not waste them. Well, not waste their time. Let's get them stuck in. Still a bit of a stare down here, but you know, Lango's microing a lot of stuff over on my end. You see he is advancing forward. So this would be maybe a chance for Bogdan to pull some tomfoolery. You'd even be tempted to shoot these trolls, maybe, but they are heavily armored. But when they're sat still like that, it's a thought. They're of course a lot harder to hit than what their model suggests. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slow down just a little bit for a minute because yeah, there is a lot going on in this confrontation. This was you know, we weren't the first one to start, but you can be damn sure we're going pretty hard with it. So the problem is now it is kind of a 2v1, or at least, well, no, it's a 1.5 versus 1. I've got a lot of support from Lango here. And right now Eothad isn't really receiving much in the way of assistance. He's got Bogdan on his flank, but Bogdan needs to maybe get involved a little bit more, and he is coming forward. These Dragon Slayers will be able to land some good hits into our line, really shred us up. Coming over this way, oh, dearie me. Looks like somebody, maybe me, maybe me, got some shots on those stalkers, whittled down a good few of them. That was definitely nice. Sin's got his steel bows coming over this way now. Broodlings chomping on into the Royal Guard, but those Royal Guard have, you know, they got their spears. They're going to be able to kill those baby dragons pretty quick if they don't manage to get out or push through. Numenorian cohort shaken. Takes a hell of a lot to get those boys shaken, but it is quite a clash. You're seeing the thickness of both lines here. Imladris Guardians being pulled back just to be repositioned probably, where they can maybe push through or get around somebody. But over the whole Umbar line, relying on these pirates, with a few Alcarondas Legion and even a Dunine mixed in amongst it, but still the bulk of this is just piracy getting thrown on in there, and then the right flank is Goblin. So it's there's definitely a quality disparity on this line, but we have the quantity to make up for that, and we've got a lot of powerful firepower mixing in, doing some good damage there. Who did I just... No, because those steel bows are opening up, and I was wondering who he's going for with that. No, well, he stopped firing now. I wouldn't have thought it would be the Warg Riders, but even, yeah, that's a beautiful little position. Luckily, he is getting to their left side, so we are getting their shields active, but still, it's a good way to kill a few of us. Still got my Moron archers firing in. Moved off the Lancers, so where have I sent my Lancers? Maybe we just position them a little bit closer. Got my Maulers, still got some reserves sitting back. Got my Nazgul, maybe I could get my Nazgul in there now. Be a good... Yeah, I think it would probably have been a good move to have gotten them in there. In amongst all these Elven infantry, they would have been able to slice and dice to their heart's content. Over there, more on infantry. Again, just trying to stop these Elven infantry, but with... normally we'd be okay. You know, we wouldn't win for sure, but we'd be okay up against the Elven infantry. But those pikes, those Merquendi pikes, helping them out is going to be way too much. Got some backup from the Spear Guard, though. And again, yeah, we've been shooting down any Dalians that have been coming forward. But Bogdan is slowly moving up bit by bit, but he can't take off everything here because Lango has he's got the Nazhai, Urukai. There's a fair force staring him down. What you'd maybe be tempted to do as Bogdan, instead of backing up your ally, you know, sounds a bit cruel, but instead of backing up the ally, maybe come forward and just try to wipe out Lango with everything you've got. Because as I say, he's only really got half an army there. So it's, but looks like Bogdan is going for the not so much merciful option, the kind option of backing up Eothad, and so we're going to be having some Dalians coming forward. Okay, the Hammer Guard are coming up, so yeah, had I come forward with my Nazgul, the Hammer Guard would have definitely been able to show them a thing or two. Would have been a bit unpleasant for me. Orc Maulers arriving now with that armor upgrade. They'll be a bit more resilient in this fight, but they're still going to go down pretty quick, no doubt. Let's go to 0.5 speed. We're starting to get a grasp of things. Actually, let's go back to 0.7. I'm just going to take a gulp of tea, so let's just look at this for a second as I reach down and pick that up. Nice. As I always say, if I ever go quiet for about sort of 3 or 4 seconds, it's usually that I've just taken a big gulp of something. Usually tea or water, or you know, occasionally beer or wine, depending on the theme of the battle. Still, these that among the Hammer Guard. So that was actually Dorwinion's general. The announcer didn't say anything there. I think he got a little bit confused, perhaps a lot going on for him. But yeah, no, the general of Dorwinion has been slain. Quite unlucky, because that unit only just got there, but they did take up a lot of that crossbow fire, so perhaps that was maybe the case. Keldrin River Patrol coming on up. They'd be a pretty nice target if I've still got more on archers. I do, so I could rattle these guys down easy peasy. Because the problem is the way that we've got this line. You can see that there is this bit of I really like the Cantabrian Circle on the mini map like that. That looks great. Because yeah, you can see the. I'm sure I took a screenshot of the elves over there, but let's maybe just do one of these because it looks kind of cool as well. Just in case you forget, let's get those bows up, boys. Very nice. Cool. So, but yeah, because of the kind of positioning of everything, he could get those jabs nicely into my mob of halberds. That would be absolutely brutal. But once again, Lango being my saviour, and seeing that he's got his line shattering in front of him and a good chance to interrupt those javelins, he's shunted through the last of the defending forces and getting mixed in amongst them. River Patrol running back now, but they're wavering, and that's then broken. They will return as long as we don't kill... Ooh, we're killing quite a few more, but they should still come back. That shouldn't be them off the field. Sauron's Well, one of my only... you know, Mordor does have a few choices when it comes to these, like, upper mid-tier, and the Sauron's Well are pretty solid, so... but I've not... As I said at the start, that's not really the way I built my army today, but I have decided to grab the Sauron's Well. And it looks like I'm just going to go for a quick charge into these spears. Elven marksman coming in to grab me, and I think because my guys didn't get that charge off, so that was pretty well done for me with that. He sort of interrupted that charge and got me stopped. Saying defeat is certain. I'm sure that's going to change just after the shock of being charged by a bunch of archers will fade. Push through here, but yeah, it looks like again Earls of Dale being a little bit trapped in this in really quite a claustrophobic map, not really able to be use their full effect. But got my more on halberds sitting up there now, engaging. You're seeing Isengard has come forward. Bogdan reorganizing the line. He had a lot of stuff sort of quite far back there just to keep them safe from the ballista, which has caused a bit of an issue as these Barding Herd weren't exactly where they needed to be when they needed to be there. But yeah, more marksman fire, and some marksmen looks like they came back from routing. Same with these River Patrol. Bogdan just a little bit focused elsewhere to bring them forward to the fight once more. Halberds here, going toe to toe with the Dalian Paladins. Dalian Paladins should smash us up just after they sort of sort themselves out, I guess. But it looks like I've got my jabbies up forward now. My javelins do still have ammunition, so ooh, I mean, with those spears so close, I'd be tempted to just put them on fire at will. But I really want those paladins going. I think. Don't know if I can quite get to them with my halberds. Yep, nope, that's us kind of struggling now, especially. I think I just went for that kind of because they're right there, and I was worried this unit might be about to break, which they probably will with that backstab. Are they going to hold out? Still shaking, still shaking. Come on, boys. You're going to be okay. You're not even wavering. Not even wavering. Freaking solid Uruks. My man. A few halberds here surviving still, but they're starting to get surrounded. Since Dale really started to, send a lot of their forces over here to back up the lines, we're getting a little bit busted up now. And, yeah, not got too much left. Zooming back on over, we'll see how the Swarm versus Elites have gone. It's not been as mobile as our fight over on the other end. It has just been this long, long line of engagement, with a few arrows coming back and forth. Those Swords of Rivendell coming forward now. They would have been able to cut through most of our chaff, but well, there's not much more chaff left for them to cut through. What's happening in the back lines here? No, just the drakes. Gwathi Rock Door came along, but there's a lot of things that can bite into those boys around here. Maybe I've even got. Nope. I pulled them over. I was going to say my Temple Inquisitors. Oh wow. Even saw that guy take out his lance right there, and that's broken. It's broken on my Mordor infantry or Mordor archers, and that big unit of goblin archers here. So that's kind of shattered the entirety of the right flank. Not that we were going to get any kills on that right flank, but it's kind of left it now open for the Numenorians and elves to push through, and also it's given the Gwathi Rockdoor a chance to flee back behind the line. So yeah, just the don't give up. That determination to get back home has helped them out. But yeah, the Temple Inquisitors should have rushed over there to maybe grab those elves. Would have been a tough fight, even for the Inquisitors. And I'm still trying to find. Oh, I have tried to do something with my Lancers. You can see they are down to 48. So I've gotten them engaged somewhere and pulled them back. Sauron's Well still running free, still decent numbers. And it is. Let's look at the mini-map zoomed in. Yeah, you can see it is a pretty chaotic brawl now. Merquinde won't mind a chaotic fight. They're quite enjoying that. But the Glade Guard are somebody that can actually do some damage to my Nazgul with that AP, that good skill. So if they're getting these sort of 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 fights, they'll at least be able to do some work. But still, I mean, they're Nazgul. At the end of the day, you're really you're not going to beat them 1-on-1. It's just not going to happen. Backed up by some Minas Morgul Chosen as well. I don't really want my Wraiths to be getting gutted. The River Patrol pulling away, as are the out of ammunition marksmen, and a few units more from Eothad running. So that looks like Eothad is just got a handful of survivors pulling over to his allies now. We're running through. My Dunaim Lancers coming in now to try and sweep away any routing forces or grab these guys that I've tried to pull back. Bogdan as well, his position looks like it's mostly shattered. That is a general down. Either, looks like he was maybe part of the Bolg's champions, perhaps? I hope not, but you're seeing a bit of a break in the lines. Mountain Orc host breaking. That makes me think it was our Gobble friend. Yeah, joining the great Lancers of Bolg's champions, just to be killed off in that charge, and that's caused a bit of a shake across the line. So we have perished in the great grind of the west of this map, but there's still survivors. Some reserves here dotted around. Black Orcs of the mountain that didn't really get their chance to come on into the front line. Still some crossbows ready to go. Trebuchet team getting pulled. Well, Trebuchet team running away, so they had been thrown on into melee as well. Oh wow, that was some close range fire that those boys were getting. Maybe they didn't even finish up their ammunition, and the forces of good over here managed to grab them. Oh dear, that poor warg. Oh no, the Cave Troll drummers fighting to the death. Brave drummer boys, continuing to hammer and smash away. One of the few trolls that are not locked morale. Those Cave Troll drummers can rout. I was very shocked when I first saw that happen. I thought that they were locked morale, but no, they are not. Blackback Mountain Berserkers, yeah, I mean they'll fight to the end here. They'll kill a good few more of these very high quality attackers, but it's looking a bit dicey. Royal Guard from Sin over here as well now. Any reserves from Umbar and Misty? Doesn't look like it. Let's go to 1x speed. Things are settling out. Things are settling out for sure. That's another general fallen. I'm seeing some gold to his armor. So that looks like that's the Umbar general there. So I'm gathering up my forces now, getting ready to push on forward. Yeah, you can see I'm not wanting Dorwinion to get anything away. So I am getting some use out of my cavalry. I've been very, very patient with them. If I can get these Glade Masters, then I'll be very pleased. Right now, happy enough just to go for the chaff that he's throwing at me, but you can see my dream is the Glade Masters. those Temple Inquisitors, very, very good melee cavalry. Well, really quite good melee cavalry for great in the sense, as long as they're not 2 hit points. Yeah, just about as good as you can get there. That's what I'm looking at. And so we're slicing and dicing these boys without too much of an issue. Don't know where my Lancers are. Lancers are probably over here. Oh, this is... Oh, right. Okay, no, that's a routing force. There's only really one way out of this sort of little canyon section. So they are, most of them routing, but he does have some survivors. Some of these marksmen, some of those marksmen even with ammunition. And the black shots are out of there too, again with ammunition. So that's a bit nasty. A bit nasty indeed. So that's in mid defeat. Could have been Eothad, but I don't think so. I wouldn't have done that if I was... Yeah, no, that was one of our boys. That was one of our lads that has thrown in the towel, but has probably lost all of their boys. So there's going to be a bit of organisation, I think, at this point. 90. Come on, you losers. Get the hell back. I think that's maybe one of the reasons I'm trying to get my Inquisitors over here, trying to get these guys like, hey, wake up. Surely they'll return. That is so shocking to have a 90-man unit like that. Get your boys sorted. But yeah, Temple Inquisitors, I love the way that they ride with those great swords just over their back shoulder like that. That's pretty dope. And this is what I'm using my Lancers on. Definitely Glade Masters would have been a better shout, I think. But no, I'm just coming over to bully Bogdan. Bogdan's got ammunition though. Dragon Slayers would be great if I could get that. But no, I think I'm going to have to play it cool. If I'm getting that, I'm working out my options. That's very strange. Get the hell back in the fight, boys. Daelian Paladins surviving as well. They slipped past me. I wonder what they're going to go for. Are they going to try and run in the trees and wait? Or are they going to... So yeah, gathering what I've got left. So hopefully the other side does this as well. Sauron's Well, you're seeing here. Still got... Okay, my elites are still pretty juicy. Still some Nazgul left too. Temple Guard... Without ammunition, unfortunately. Would have been very nice to have that. And Lango's got, again, a decent whack of forces. Yeah, good portion of Urukai infantry as well. So he's still got some elites in the form of the Nazhai, but he's really... It looks like Lango is kind of going to be our main line. And the thing that's very, very juicy is that ballista. So by the initial looks of this, Lango seems to be our main line, with me forming some elites and a bit of chaff to try and, you know, get the enemy elites. So we're just going to have to see how and when the final clash occurs here. Whereas Eclipse in Numenor, I won't call everything out, but I'll just try and cast over so we can actually sort of have a look at numbers and get an idea of what they've got arrayed against us. Royal Legion from Amenelos is a bit scary. Steel Bow is luckily just out of ammunition. Seafarers and Nendamos, I'm sure... No, they've got their javelins in their hands. That's a bit scary. That is a bit scary that they've been able to hold their cool and save that unit. Merquindi bows over here, so Eothad is still in the fight with something else as well, and they've got their bows out too. That poison arrow fire, and yeah, these Glade Masters, I really should have hunted them down with my cavalry. That was a bit of a misstep letting them get away, but I think I was just focused on Dale, and I didn't really think to grab them. So we're going to be relying a bit on this ballista. If we can move forward here and secure this position, where we've got a little bit of a high ground advantage on the right flank, that would be really nice. But it looks like, I don't know quite where Lango wants to make the move. He's going to be forming the front line anyway. I'm a little bit further behind him. We've still got some trolls as well. They're very, very bloodied, very bruised down. But as long as we pick their targets nicely, we can do some good work. Looks like I've pulled back a... Oh, good. These guys did come back. 90 boys remaining. So it's definitely something that can be of worth to us. And hopefully they relax a bit. Lancers and Inquisitors coming over this way now. Looks like I'm just wanting to get into the back of those lines, but they're going to need to move a bit faster if they're wanting to sort of really partake in this fight. Okay, we are... Yeah, there is definitely a fight for this this slope. That seems to be where both sides are wanting to gather their forces. This position may have been in my deployment zone. And as I say, I don't really like to hold positions when they're in your deployment zone, but we've left it and now we're retaking it. So I think I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, we both sort of had a fair chance to try and grab this position, so I think it's not too bad that we've ended up grabbing it. Crossbowmen here, unfortunately, have ammunition from Lango. And yeah, so it's going to be an infantry brawl primarily. There's a few sources of ammunition here and there, but the bulk of it is going to be, yeah. Oh, I've got some javies. I do still have some orc javelins, not quite as good as the seafarers of Nindamos, but yeah, they'll do something. Orc maulers standing by, having a chance to rest is always good. Some more javies, again with their javelins out too. So I've got, I should have a few pointed sticks getting chucked at them. Or at captains, nice. They're still AP, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty confident they're still AP. So it sets them out a bit against a lot of the other sort of sword and board bodyguard forces. They can do some good work. Good little cleansing. And this ballista is going to force them to make the move against us. I say we've gotten our first little desire with grabbing this slope. So on the left side there, yeah, they're going to be coming up that hill to fight us. We've also got a good little high point to throw down javelins and the like. And then yeah, we've got some time to unload with the ballistas. So they're gonna have to come forward at us. Minas Morgul chosen. Looked like I'm getting mixed in amongst the crossbowmen, or I'm charging. No, looks like I'm just trying to form a line, but this might have just been a bit of a rushed micro fail. As I was sort of gathering up forces, but noticed it a bit too late, getting them chucked on in. Hopefully they don't rout. Let's go to 0.8 for a minute, because yeah, this clash is now beginning. Still, the likes of those Numenorian cohort, I need to get my boys forward. I really should have probably organised my men here, but instead I organised them a little bit too far back. Really need to get them up. You're seeing in the back here a very daunting sight of the Dalians returning. The surviving Dale forces coming on up to behind us is not a pretty thing to see, and I don't think I'm noticing it with the likes of my Temple Guard and my fancy units. Nazhai coming forward. I really need to get up there with my elites too. I don't quite know why I'm being so so passive here, because this fight is something that could go in our favour if we were, you know, getting our elites chucked in. Maybe I've sort of just spotted the Dalians and I'm a little bit unsure of how to deal or cope with that. Come on, Wendy Pops, do something. Get stuck in. But again, I'm also probably microing my cavalry a bit. Trying to come in for a little back charge on those Bruinen River wards. But the problem is, once these sentries get into position, I'm not going to be able to get through. You're seeing over here, I'm sending over my Lancers. So I'll just have to try and lance down a few of the Dalians. The Inquisitors will quite enjoy it. Yep, they just mopped them. Absolutely. Just sliced them down. Steel bows. Ah, damn. There's still some steel bowman fire. I was wondering. Ah, dear. And again, this is a bit of a micro loss for me. I think I saw those Gwathi Rockdoor and I wanted them, but I didn't realise just how much firepower was coming into my poor boys. That is a little rout from the front line. Yeah, looks like I'm seeing the Dalians and I'm sending some stuff back to try and engage them. Lancers coming forward, getting a quick charge into the Dragon Slayers, but the problem is those Dismounted Earls of Dale popped up without me really spotting them. Inflicted a lot of casualties with that charge, but I need to get out of there. Those Lancers are not 2 hit point, they are not knights or anything, they are just, yeah, like sturdy Lancers to be sure. And that is some firepower coming in from the Trebuchet team that Mevin has kept alive. Awesome. I was really surprised that these guys actually came back from routing. Very good. A nice little aid for us as those flaming balls come crashing into the enemy. Whatever they can hit is a bonus. I don't know how much ammunition they've got left, but those Pharazim nobles are alive, and they're getting in behind us into the ballista, stopping an artillery beast from sending shots out at them. And yeah, I'm getting everything I can chucked in now, but again, it's a little bit later than I really should have had them. They should have been getting chucked in there a bit earlier. Temple Guard rushing forward here, but this is I think Blackshot Dragon. Well, it's just firepower from every source pouring into the poor Temple Guard now, sort of stunning them as they're trying to charge forward. Where's my Lancers? And again, you can just see my micro attention getting pulled here and there right now, and it's kind of causing me to struggle a bit with the likes of my Lancers, because everything here would be a juicy target, and I think I just need to go for something. I think I'm getting a little... I'm trying to go for archers, and I think I'm getting a bit too greedy. I just need to start whittling down enemy forces instead of trying to... And now, sort of not liking our chances right now. These guys wavering as well as I rush them forward. The front line is... Okay, we saw victory was certain for a second there. The Uruk captains will do some good work, of course. Naz High as well. So the front line is not terrible. Even those Farazim Swordmasters not loving their day. But they'll no doubt, yeah, victory will be certain for a second. In a second for them. Got the Temple Executioners forward there now too. They'll do not too bad up against that Royal Legion, for sure. Any javelins we've got left just trying to come forward. Eclipse rushing on up with those Swords of Rivendell to try and interrupt me. Hopefully I've gotten my ammunition spent. If I didn't, then I need to maybe get them in guard mode or something, try and just unload the last few sticks I've got. And... Oh, nice! Damn, yeah, it's not seen that happen in ages. I love that little glitch. It's one of my favourite things. Just they end up shrinking down for my little T-pose. Still, Bogdan trying to get his ammunition spent on my Temple Guard. Goodness me, I just didn't realise how much ammo we had left. Yeah, down to just a few Lancers left. Trying to bring down a few more of these Dalian Paladins. Only one guy. Nah, that's them gone. So a few more of the Paladins went down. A little bit more damage here and there, but yeah, it was just kind of, I would say, like, sort of micro concerns, just as I was focusing on other sections of the line. But over here, still got the final stand of our boys. What happened to the Ballista crew? Downed. I think the Farazim nobles probably dealt with them. A few Belikar archers from Mevin running off the field as well. They must have come back from routing. Ooh! No, that wasn't. They're just routing for other reasons. But I thought, oh, that's funny. Does the AI automatically do that? Yeah, okay, that's cool. For Cav, like, they automatically seem to see stakes. They won't flee into stakes. That's kind of cool. One of them obviously did. But, didn't really realise that. Maybe they do automatically switch after they lose one or two. So, I think, yeah, my failing here was just not realising how much steel bowfire he had. I should have kept my cavalry together as well, so that I could better micro them, and also they could back each other up. So if I had come in with both my cavalry units on this side, I really could have hurt Dale a bit. The cav just wasn't so necessary over here as well. But yeah, now the Gwathi Rock Door will be running free, interrupting our ballista, and just wreaking havoc. We'll try to do as much damage as we can to this little front line with our remaining elites. Pikes running off the field. Barding Marksman Dale is now coming forward in force. Temple Guard have perished, and there's nothing more to hold them back here. This death wall of animal pelt and purple on the grass. But yeah, no, this was I remember this one. I didn't actually. I genuinely thought I won at the start of this. I was sitting there like, damn, was this? I think because there was this very similar map to this I played on Silmarillion Total War. And I think there was I basically played very similarly, and I think we won pretty comfortably. So I was getting that confused with this fight, I believe. So, but no, this was pretty dope. I think you'll see the kills at the end with my cav. Could have done a lot more with them, and it was just failings of micro. And I think I didn't realise I'd fannied about for so long here. I don't know quite why I did that. I think it was just a case of I maybe wasn't sure, do I want to turn around and fight Dale, or do I want to come into this? But what I really should have done was maybe, you know, messed around with my cav, just did some skirmishing action, just tried my best to delay Dale, pour everything I had over here alongside Lango. And I think if we had just flooded forward with all of our elites, with all of our, as many numbers as we really could, maybe, you know, just left a unit of Mordor infantry or whatever holding here in spaced out formation, just something to buy us a 2 minutes or something like that, then this could have worked out a bit better, because I think we would have been able to barrel through that line, because you're seeing how few units they've sort of got left after after this clash, and I think had all of my elites been there a little bit earlier, could have gone a bit better. Actually, oh damn, maybe we wouldn't have been able to barrel through, but we would have inflicted a lot more damage. Sir Spears of Rivendell coming through there now, but I think really what sort of killed us, I didn't realise just how many survivors Dale had. I think that was one of the vibes. I really didn't realise just how much he had left. You know, he really, yeah, he got away with a lot of troops, which he was able to sort of bring crashing down on us again. And maybe we should have, instead of immediately focusing, because this was, I think this was a problem. After we beat Dorwinion, we immediately started to focus on Norway, sorry, Numenor and Imladris, when we really should have focused on Dale. And we should have just said, right, yep, stuff it, ignore that, gather everything up, pursue Dale, he goes this way, I go this way, and we just catch him in the middle, and we just eat him. And then we turn around and deal with this force. I think that should have been our idea, because they wouldn't have been able to catch up with us, they wouldn't have been able to reach us in time. But no, I think we were just maybe feeling just a little bit confident, a little bit too confident perhaps, that that we had this. And yeah, by the way, no, it was a hell of a lot of fun. I like this map a lot. I always like 4v4s where you're kind of forced to mix with each other, you know, where you're basically fighting on top of one another, your armies are side by side, and like this field over here, this was just, I know you could argue there's not like a tremendous amount of like tactics involved in it and stuff like that, but I really love it when you've got like multiple armies on one narrow space just clashing as one consistent front line, and you're just sending units in, just sort of grinding away. It's really cool. Like, and it's kind of an almost a siege feel, but you've got a bit more space to work with, and no, it's a lot of fun. I think that's just the last of my my Nazgul. In there you can see my general's still alive. So you see like how tough he is. If you put your general in with the Nazgul, he can last for ages. But let's just go 2x speed for now. Let's just get that finished. I will let him fight out. He's still got 1,000 frames. Let's go 6x speed. Come on, man. You've done your part. But yeah, those Fires and Sword Masters are gonna be a bit too much for him to handle. Nope. I didn't run. I'm sure I didn't have him run. Where the hell is he? Where you been, dude? They're forming up. Oh wait, are they forming up to shoot him or something? Where is he? I know there's something going on with him. Sorry if this isn't what you want to see. Where the hell is my boy? Oh, is there a 1v1 clash or something? Oh wait, no, I think you just wanted to ride him down. Or either way, he's dead now. He's dead now. So yeah, what do we end up with here? Nazgul, yeah, doing some good work. Generally, like, fighting some pretty sturdy units. Same with the Uruk captains for the most part. Temple Executioners went toe-to-toe with the Royal Legion of Armenelos, so we can't really worry too much about them. Yeah, all the other lads just kind of doing their thing, just sort of what would be expected of them. Sauron's well, really doing not too bad, but again, they ripped through that unit of archers, so that's kind of buffed out their kill count. Maulers, vibing. These poor guys, oh dear. But yeah, still everybody okay. Archers, yeah, some nice stuff from the archers, and the Dunheim Lancers actually racked up a few kills. But yeah, those Temple Inquisitors, I could have been better with them, but that was just because I did not realise how much steel bolt fire they had coming their way. And unshielded, just relying on an armor value, nah man, they are going down real quick. But yeah, everybody else, oh wow, lots of prisoners from Lango, very good from some routing Dalians. But yeah, no, as I say, it was a hell of a lot of fun, and this was another one that I believe we were all in like a Discord channel together. This one, I'm pretty sure this was an Eclipse organised fight, so that was good to have. But yeah, thank you guys very much, and I will see you later.